for tonight, we're gonna, we have enough of us here to put it on the agenda. We need to
That's
vote,
what they have it. Okay.
right? We all good with that?
You guys can't eat any.
So that's it. Oh, and then Kathy's gonna tell us about our situation with funds for this.
There's gonna be a lot of beer
Right.
drinking. Just in the student section.
As Mike said earlier, we don't know until the budgets are, the projects are completed, what our total amount invested in a project is going to be. We plan for the worst, we include contingency funds, and at the end of the day, the project is X number of dollars. Because we haven't finished all the projects that we started for summer 2014, I don't have a final dollar figure yet as to the total final cost of the projects. So keeping that in the back of your mind, we have approximately $7 million remaining in our capital projects funds for any projects that have not been committed or designed yet. So that's $7 million for any future capital projects, which includes phase 2 of
Where did we get
the Hellman Field. There are other projects coming down the road in a number of years, such as some roof repairs, some additional paving repairs, a boiler replacement. So again, $7 million probably will get us through 3 years. At that point, in 3 years, we will be out of dollars again. And then the board will be, either will be lucky and we will have some money to put over from our general fund, or to do capital projects in the future, the board will have to consider either building that into their general fund, or consider another bond issue to pay for any additional capital projects in the future. But $7 million should get us through the next 2-3 years.
Oh,
I would like to, at the next, thanks Kathy, the next facilities meeting, maybe break out the manual and share it with, all of us, what's on the immediate horizon. Because most of the big projects are behind us. And the future, I mean, it's good news in that sense that we have a lot of, our buildings are up to speed, our facilities are in excellent condition. And we don't have any major, unless we have to build a school, we don't have any, anything big, like, we're averaging $5-6 million a summer here the past few years. You know, what are the numbers at that, Jeff? If you don't mind.
On an average, we were trying to average about $3 million a year going back 5 years ago, and then actually when Penn Central Air Conditioning came in, South Air Conditioning, that number jumped to more like 5 to 6 million. But we can do a review of our 5-year plan that's coming up, and maybe it would be a bad idea to go over the last 7 years. You know, when I came 7 years ago, what these facilities conditions were and where we're at now, just so everybody knows, what that money's done. Again, a quick story was, went to Guth my first year here in the wintertime, and I went in the kindergarten room, and there was 9 buckets in the kindergarten room, and the teacher had no problem huddling the people under, and she was just teaching school. So, from there, it was roof job, roof job, roof job. We had boilers down, at Bedminster, we had boilers down at Grass, and Univent heaters that weren't working that first winter, that was 55, that's the best we could do. So these renovations over the last 6 years really took care of all the major problems. So maybe we can do a quick 10 minutes of that, and where we're going with the 5-year plan.
Okay, anybody, someone had some questions?
Yeah, I have a question. So the $7 million, Mrs. Johnson, that we have uncommitted in the capital projects fund, that includes the $10 million that was borrowed in the spring. Now, in the spring, we talked about borrowing $10 million next year, but it's looking like that we won't have to do that.
That certainly would be a decision to the board whether to borrow now. Again, though $10 million now, because again, interest rates are still low. And the other thing that we didn't talk about tonight is the GASB information. That, I do believe, once the GASB requirements come in, could have a negative impact on our bond rating. And in that case, that will also cause the cost of borrowing to increase for us. So if the board is considering borrowing additional funds, there's 2 things that you may want to consider yet for this year is the fact that interest rates are still low and we still have a fine bond rating.
ask a question on these GASB rates that are gonna come in. First of all, they're gonna trash just about every school district in the Commonwealth, aren't they? That's not gonna pick up Pennridge. We have the additional whammy of this concern about the users' possible questions that have to be answered by the state on
They're talking about.
the individual pension. Individual
Hard tap.
pensions. That question is, I think, three that we're discussing.
I just know they're gonna borrow 20.
That will have to be thought out.
Okay. So it looks like the table's quiet. Questions from the audience? Mr. Linden?
Is it possible that you could create some kind of decision list with dates so that you would know what kind of decisions you have to make by what date? Because it looks to me like there's some confusion on the part of some of the members of the board as to what goes where, when. I know that from an audience standpoint, I don't understand all the things that Mike understands, knows.
What I was just about, what I was saying to Kathy was we have sort of a, outline of dates that we're looking at here. So that's where they're coming from. So that's something I think, that's something that should be out there to look at. Sort of like the timeline.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Right. So we have that, and I thought it may have already been out there on the website, I don't know. So
It sounds very complicated, that's
not that complicated for you, you'll figure it out.
if you do this, you gotta do that.
Decision tree.
Thank you.
Thank you. Anybody else? Okay, thanks for coming. Who's our next meeting? Facilities, September, it's the 11th, or the 10th, right? September 10th, I think. Next, finance, oh wait, no, that's not the 10th, that's activities. We don't have it, so it'll be on the website. I'm not sure when we're doing
Timeline
it.
with a critical path. Yeah, why didn't you say that? Well, I
Okay?
wanted him to say it.
Oh, you know what, it is the 8th. September 8th. Sorry.